What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from Box Office Banner and Cult Flick Symposium. I'm here to finally talk about Argylle, one I missed at the theater and I was able to finally watch from the comforts of my own home. This is usually one I might skip over, but I did promise to review it at some point earlier in this year's YouTube journey. That's right, this year's YouTube journey. I separate my YouTube journeys into years because I change periodically. No, I don't know why I said that. Point is, I am here to talk about Argylle. I heard a lot of bad things about this movie, guys. And I'm here to tell you, I think you're completely wrong. But I also kind of get where you're coming from. Let me explain. I feel like if I would have saw this out the gates, I would have been a little bit more frustrated. You even hear me say this a lot of times on this channel. Whereas seeing it now, later on, didn't really affect me. Reason being, this is the type of movie that looks like, it's a home run. Not just a good one, but it had home run, action, comedy, fun type of action comedy movie written all over it. Down from the actors, down to the looks of how they were performing out certain situationals. The cat, let's just talk about the cat. The cat itself looked really fun. There was something about this movie that just had fun written all over it where you're just like, that will not only be a good time, how could it not be a great time? So when you go into the movie, seeing it in a movie theater, opening day, oh my God, we got another great action movie. We don't get enough of these. And you leave with that was good. It turns into, they kind of blew it, and they not deliver how I wanted them to. Turns into this was just a bad action movie, and I think that's where a lot of the flack came from. Watch it like I did, all that dies down a bit, and you're like, okay. Now, all of a sudden, it's not the trailer that's, in your mind with all the actors and the hype around it. It's all I've heard is bad things for the last however many days leading up to this watch for me. So I'm watching it with fresh eyes. Now, not being hyped up, but expecting like, all right, let's see how they fuck this up. And then somehow flipping and going the complete opposite direction in a 180, being pleasantly surprised. And saying that, though, I do agree it was not as good as it should have been. But it is not the travesty that I heard some people say. I think all the performances were good. Again, not great, but good. I think it did have its fair share of fun. Negatives-wise, I think it did run a little too long. I think there's like 2.5 hours. There were certain moments within the movie that could be cut out. Another negative for me, personally, I feel like they got a little too cute with all the twisty turnies. They tried to be a little too smart for their own good, where they should have maybe they can have like a twist, but like all the little twisty turnies they were trying to pull off, just have a more straightforward, fun narrative. It kind of made the movie feel a little unbalanced. But like I said, guys, overall, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. This was still good. Just wasn't great. And it's frustrating because it had great written all over it, but I find myself pleasantly surprised today because I've heard so much bad. And I don't even necessarily know what the bad is because I've just seen, bullet points. I haven't actually looked into what people think is bad about this movie. But for me, what held it back was there was nothing exceptional. And although the performances were good, there was nothing that was overly stand-outish, which you kind of got a vibe there would be, and there was not. I think a little too much of the twisty-turnies, as I said, and I think a little too long in the runtime leveled it out as, damn, that was a good one-off watch. Not terrible, but it's a movie that I think, even though I'm saying it's good today, I think we all hoped wasn't going to be a one-off watch. This looked like, one you throw on once every 5 years, like, oh yeah, that movie's a lot of fun. And it wasn't quite a lot of fun. It was just fun. And again, it's a little frustrating when you got the talent at hand here. So, mixed bag in a way, but not as bad. If you've been kind of straying away from it or you're kind of doing what I did, we were putting it off for a little while, not as bad as what people are saying. I really do not agree with that, but also temper those expectations because there is some merit to the way people are reacting to this movie. It's just we have a tendency as human beings, I don't know if you've noticed, to overcorrect. Everything's either the best movie in the world or it's the worst movie ever. I think this movie got a lot of that unfair treatment, where it's not here or here. It kind of it levels out somewhere in here. Like if that's the bottom, this is the top. It's here. So check out Argylle if you were putting it off and hadn't seen it. But again, temper those expectations. This is a pretty solid comedy action spy thriller that could use, a few tweaks to be great. But overall, guys, I enjoyed it. I think I gave Argylle, what did I end up giving it? God, maybe like a 7 out of 10, like on the money, maybe 6.8. I have to think about it. We'll settle on a 7 right now. So really good. I'm going to give it really good, but just barely. Anyways, guys, love y'all. Peace, love, tranquility, or whatever the fuck you guys say. I will be back with more reviews. Peace.